Hi, this is Matthew Belk with Better Car People here for our second video from the uh, professional development days for GM. This is the lead process and what matters most, and I will jump right into it. We already talked about why leads are important, why your dealerships, they have to take advantage of this channel or they just won't sell enough cars. We will go ahead and go into our big five. So we already discussed speed to lead, single point of failure. Can't talk about it enough. You've got to make that happen. Just in review, the questions to ask your dealer is, what is your response time compared to the zone? We just want to make sure that they are on top of that. They have that great metric to look at. And again, we don't tell them what they are. We ask them for them to look it up so they can realize what percentage of the leads come in after hours. It's a number we need them to look up. And then what is holding up your response time? A chance for your dealership to elaborate on what they feel like are the problems and for you to learn how to help them out better. Let's move on now to the next thing is content. And the problem with content right now is a lot of it has been in your dealership CRM for a long time. And when it was built, it wasn't necessarily considering what value would be to the consumer. It was, how can I get this consumer just to engage with me at whatever cost and now as quick as possible? Unfortunately, we know that sometimes it takes a lot longer for somebody to buy a car. Sometimes there's all kinds of reasons for them not to respond. And when we don't deliver value, those consumers will run away from us. So what is value? Well, this is real simple. You can ask the question of yourself. What is value to you? When you have an interaction with a company, you want to trust that company. You want to have transparency into what this process is going to be like, and you don't want anyone to waste your time. Well, let's go through those. Trust. What does trust look like on a website or on an email or a text going out? Trust is about credibility. So let's talk about that. We already discussed about the if someone looked at a ball game and they saw a Cadillac on there and looked really good. Like, hey, that's a good looking Cadillac. Never looked at Cadillac before. And they somehow end up on a website, send in a lead, and the first response back has a bow tie on it. They don't even know what the Chevy is even and Cadillac are even associated, but you've lost that trust because they're not looking for a Chevrolet, they're looking for a Cadillac. So that's a credibility problem. You also know whenever you're doing the Insta Snap or whatever, you're scrolling through and you see something, and they're really good at it, of seeing some kind of product, you click on it, and it doesn't take a second for you to decide if you're going to put your credit card information on that website or not. That's what we're talking about for trust, that credibility. So what does that mean? When we're sending out, everything we're sending out, is it trustworthy? Is it just saying, when can you come in? When can you come in? When can you come in? Because that's not trustworthy. Is it got the right branding? Because the brand is more important at the beginning than the dealership. And I know that dealerships hate hearing that, but hey, I worked for Hendrick, and what I found out was that even though Hendrick had this incredible brand, it still is. I mean, incredible brand for the dealer group. It still is trumped by the manufacturer on the initial response and responses after that because they're interested in the car. Now, once we get to talk some, and also as we're doing more follow-up, is a great time to bring in your why buys from your dealership. But at the beginning, it's got to be about that brand. So that's what we're looking for, is on brand, that vehicle, and giving good information. Next part is transparency. Transparency comes into, hey, you can be proactive with this, and you could say, this is what's going to happen next. This is what you need to do. At minimum, though, transparency means that you have to answer the customer's question. If you don't answer their question, then you're done. Also, an implied question for everything online is, what is the price? So how do you handle price? Now, your dealerships can handle price any way they want to handle price. But if they don't put a price on the website and don't send out at least a starting price on their communications, then if any other dealership that does send that, the customer's going to work with those people. So it's just something that you have to know about. And then time, you cannot waste my time. Are you more patient than you were 5 years ago? The answer probably no. Hopefully is yes, because hopefully you're a better person, you're more patient. But no. I'm talking about more patient in consuming things. And we're not as patient because we're used to getting things right away. And stalling tactics or not providing, not answering the questions, wasting people's time, asking the same question over and over again. That just can't happen. So how are we going to talk to our dealerships about this? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask about the last mystery shop. Whoever we're talking to the dealership, you should review the mystery shop before you go talk to a dealer. It's very, very important. Mystery shops, they're a pain in the butt. All right, from working in the dealerships, from being held accountable for mystery shops, and we do mystery shops ourselves. Uh, Mystery shops, they guarantee what we thought was happening is happening. And I say this about mystery shops: if somebody calls you a horse, say, "Forget you, I'm not a horse." If two people call you a horse, you should find a mirror. And if three people call you a horse, no matter what you think, you're a horse. And that's mystery shops. So your dealer doesn't need to just look at the score. They need to know what happened on the mystery shop. So the first thing we'd like you to do is, did you address the question on the last mystery shop? We want to ask that from your dealership. They're going to say, I don't know. Look it up together. We know one of the mystery shop questions on Chevrolet was, does the Blazer 2025 Blazer EV come with a charging cable? The answer is no. Used to, 2024 did, does not 2025. First thing is, did they answer it? If they didn't, do they know the answer? And the people answering leads, will they be able to answer those? Great way to get in there and you're learning more and more about the process. And maybe you might find a problem with product knowledge, which we have a ton of resources. GM does for product knowledge. We just need to make sure the people answering the leads have that product knowledge. If the customer asks for a price, what do you say? Now, the person you ask this may say something right away. This is how we handle it. The next question to that, the follow-up question will be, does everybody know that? Everyone who answering leads, are they going to do it the same way? So you may have one person that does fantastic at this, but unless everyone knows that, and how do they know that? How would they know that? How would a new hire know how to answer that question correctly? So that's just something that the dealership knows best. They know their area. They know their techniques. They have strategies built around stuff. We're not going to say how you should do it. We're saying, how do you do it? What is the process every single time? And the last thing is something we found at Better Car People. And this is because I mentioned that we have a contact center, 200 plus 250 people that we're doing the full BDC information for the dealership. And what we found is that we sometimes have to take out maybe 5 different vendors. There's a chat vendor. There's somebody answering SMS. We're doing email for the dealership. We're also on the phones. And these could be 5 different vendors doing this for a dealership. And none of those vendors had any idea what the voice of the dealership was, or that the customer is being contacted through multiple channels. And this is something that you just have to present in front of the dealership. Is your messaging consistent on the phone, email, SMS, and chat? Is it? Because we found out that a lot of times it's not. And it takes more than just 1 second to figure that out. It's a great time to look into the CRM and seeing all the messages that go out to the customer, making sure that works. So just to review, we're gonna keep this clean right now. We're looking for questions from you on how to improve this, but you have to do an audit of everything going out to the consumer from the CRM, because there's a lot of stuff you don't realize. You're gonna look in the CRM to find that what is going out there, and we're going to make sure that content, we're answering the question, because if we're not, we're losing that customer. We are going to ask, what's our process for price? Number thing, there's other ones to talk about also, inventory, different items, but price first. And we're going to make sure that it's consistent, all being judged on trust, transparency, and time. Are we sending trustworthy message out? Are we being transparent about what the process is? And are we wasting people's time? Because if we're wasting their time, they're going to spend their time not working with you. Guys, thank you so much, and look forward to hearing feedback from you as we go through the big 5 here. And then after that, we're going to be building content off of what you're asking for with your dealerships. Thanks so much. Any questions, again, go to BCP4GM at bcp.us.